Let's get back to your Philly area a little bit. You coached in Philly from 99 to 2012?
14 years.
14, yeah.
God.
That was your first head coaching job. What were your thoughts going into that? Was Philly the only option? Were you interviewing with multiple other teams?
Yeah.
There was a rumor that you had a 5-inch notebook that was like your keys to running an organization.
Yeah. So there were 3 teams that were interested.
Okay.
And Philly happened to be the first interview.
All right.
And listen, it was probably the one that was, if I honestly said it was probably the one that I'd have a chance at more than the other 2. But
sure.
I was the last of the interviews with Philly, and there were 4 or 5 guys that interviewed there beforehand.
Yeah.
And they were good coaches. And so I was not a coordinator. And I'm going, I need every piece of artillery I can get to go in there and try to get this thing. And
yeah.
I had studied Mike Holmgren for all those years, 7 years in Green Bay, and tried to write notes down and keep it organized. Mm-hmm. So if something were to happen, I was lucky enough to get an interview, I could go in and I'd have the answers to the test. Right?
Yeah, sure.
From a great coach who should be in the Hall of Fame. So that's where the binder came from.
Yeah.
And it was a long interview, and it worked out okay. But I knew what I was getting into. It was a tough place.
Yeah. You just talked about media, understand how to control that. Is that the toughest media market, you think, in the NFL?
Yeah, it's one of them. I mean, I had a chance to talk to Bill Parcells. We played the Jets my first year, and the preseason, he goes, hey, like, you're in the toughest place ever. Right there. And he's in New York at the time. I'm going, all right. This is the toughest place. So I knew that part wasn't going to be easy, but I was honest with them, and I mean, we always talk about you don't have to say everything, tell the whole story, but you better, whatever you say whatever comes out of your mouth, better be the truth.
Yeah. You better be able to stand on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so, that was part of it.
We know that the Philly market is it's tough in terms of the media, but I'll tell you what, man, being a fan of Jason and being a fan of the Eagles organization, treating me like family in there, what was your biggest takeaway in Philly coaching for the Eagles out there?
Yeah, so I mean, Jeff Lurie, I'm close with to this day. Mm-hmm. He treated me great. The people there, you gain a badge of honor if you can make it through there, still standing. So they've been great through some tough times. I mean, there were tough times along the way, and whether it was on the field or off the field, and they were right there with me. But they're going to let you know. I mean, they're going to let you know. One thing I could say about it is they're going to let you know they're like a coach and a player.
Yeah.
If you stink, they're going to tell you stink. And if you're good, they're going to tell you you're good. Yep. And there's no in between. There's nothing in between.
That's right.
So it's a tough place, but it's a good place.
Yeah.
Would you have done anything differently in your time in Philly?
No.
I'm sure.
No. I mean, there are things you learn along the way.
Yes.
But I think we were able to go to 5 championship games and a Super Bowl, and I think the organization hadn't been doing great, and we were able to kind of get them moved up the chain there in the NFL, and it worked out okay. So I think there was at least a foundation there that everybody could build on and go win the Super Bowl like you guys did.
Yeah, with a former player and coach of yours.
Yeah. That was awesome, though.
You just talked about like the badge of honor. Do you think that Philadelphia media fan base? I feel like there's like a sense of urgency in that city that like you got to come to work every day. You get like, have you carried that over? Did you have that in Green Bay, or do you think that affects the organization in the coaches?
Green Bay for a different reason because of the history there.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you feel that legacy that takes place there. And then in Philly, they'll give you 2 strikes. That's you're done. And so you've got to bring, you do. You bring your A game every day. I mean, if you're off a tick, you're going to hear about it. And so you make sure that you prepare and you're organized and all those things that you need to be.
Yeah.